G'day, it's Ashman here. I'm sitting here again with Adam Sessler, and welcome again.
Hey, I've actually never left. I've just been waiting for you to come interview me one more time.
We just changed the background whilst we, didn't move, yeah.
And I'm just wandering, timing.
Well, I guess let's talk about the competition. For you, it must have been pretty tough. There was some really tight competition.
Yeah, there was, I believe it's a phrase, I think it was Raymond Carver who talked about writing, you have to kill some babies. And there was that feeling there. You're looking at people who have worked so hard for so long and they're so close, and there's nothing pleasant about saying like, okay, we're going to pick you and not you. And there are points where just the quality was so high and the perspective was so unique that it was very tough. But at the same time, it was very eye-opening for me. I mean, I tend to spend my time reviewing AAA titles, games that I've been hearing about, Gears of War, Uncharted, stuff like that. And to really see what an international perspective in these teams in parts of the world, like Thailand, where I'm not really thinking there's a ton of game developers out there, are bringing something very, very fresh to game design.
And there's also even more females getting involved as well. At the Imagine Cup, there's 20% female competitors. That's also and within narrowing down again, not just technology but game design, that becomes even more of a niche for that. But it's actually quite surprising there were so many females.
It's absolutely wonderful to see that. I think that one of the biggest issues, and I'm going to speak to game design, software design, I don't understand it. You guys just do magical things and I just buy it. Game design, once again, at that top professional level, I think has been mired in something that's a little bit too insular and inward-looking. It's a lot of white men. And there's nothing, they're not bad people, but you have kind of a homogeny of background and homogeny of perspective. I think that's why people are noticing that there is kind of a similarity to games. Man with gun shoots people. And, I love those games, but there is that kind of hunger for something that's new and that's a little bit fresh. And there's something very, very encouraging when you see this many women. And to be clear, not just women from the Western Hemisphere that are here working on games, and that could only bode well for what's going to be happening in the years to come.
And I guess looking at you as a judge, I guess there sure must be a few people out there wondering, well, how did you actually become a judge?
This angel came through my window and went, okay, you can opine. No, Andrew Parsons, I met him a couple of times, and I was on a panel somewhere in Los Angeles. He was there, and I was talking to him about sort of my passion is I would like to get more games in the educational space. I think they are interesting as teaching tools. I would like academia to pay more attention to games because I think they offer very interesting critical theory problems. And also, I just like inspiring people to make new and better games. And, well, that seemed to be a pretty good fit. And he's like, want to go to Australia? And I'm like, I've never been to Australia. And I'm like, okay, and now I'm here.
Oh, great. And it looks like you've had a great time here in Australia. What's probably would have been one of the standout things for you?
The rain. No.
Very un-Australian.
Yeah. No, I actually, probably the strangest thing has been coming from 85-degree weather in the middle of summer in Los Angeles to cold weather and, more importantly, very, very short days. My circadian rhythm has gone absolutely haywire. No, I think it's coming to Australia, which is a very international city, and then being at this event, which is kind of hyper-international. Like my first morning with all the competitors in the hotel lobby, it was like if nerds built the Tower of Babel. And not in a bad way. Like, God's not going to come down and crush it or anything like that. No, it was just kind of like, this is really exciting and awesome. And it really kind of dawned on me what this event really was and how significant it is.
And when the quality of the entries has just been probably one of the most popular topics throughout the competition, particularly in game design. And do you think that taking from it, or at the competition level, and looking at the industry and the AAA titles which are being produced, do you think that these students could even take those projects or create a non-competitive or a non-competition game and really bring it to those big guys?
Yeah. There's no question. The process that we went through was 2 separate times where they would present the game, we would grill them with questions, American Idol style, and then also getting to play the game where we have more of an informal discussion about it. And what was very clear with many of the competitors is they are thinking like game designers. They're planning things out. They are understanding the essential sociology of how people kind of interact with the game, how they slowly learn their skills, and then that desire to want to have those skills tested. That was evident in so many of these games, in addition to very polished graphics, very ambitious kind of under the hood balancing, and those are things that I still don't see working perfectly in a lot of professional games that are being released. You have to pay money for, and when you see that also being done in games that have something a little more high-minded, has an ecological perspective, or it has a social and global perspective, I think that really, yeah, these guys can do that job, but they could also make a game that could be something of a disruptor. Also, these guys could put these games out right now, and they could sell them very cheap. iPad, tablet devices,
Windows Phone,
Windows 8, and that's where really a lot of change is happening. And I do think that the $60 game guys aren't really paying attention to what's happening in that space, and these guys could just burn it up right there.
Well, I guess you've seen the pictures, you've played the games. You're saying that they could take it to market. Would you buy some of these games?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, in fact, there are some games I've seen here. I'll call out Tang Tai and The Doers, who really, really impressed me. I plan to go back and just make people check these games out. And I already have a desire to evangelize on behalf of these guys. I mean, it really is that exciting.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for joining myself and
You guys.
Yeah.
My mom.
And the MSP social media team, because you've brought a great influence and great perspective through to game design, and appreciate you taking the time out.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. You guys have been absolutely great, and because you're wearing these really, really bright shirts, you've been easy to find when I get lost. So thank you so much.
Great. Well, if you want to follow us and the rest of the social media stream for the Imagine Cup Worldwide Finals, you can follow the MSP social media team at MSPSMT on Twitter, or follow the whole conversation at Imagine Cup using the hashtag Imagine Cup. And where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at Adam Sessler. It's really me. I have a blue check.
Great. Well, I'm Ashman Says on Twitter. I'm not verified yet. I'm sure I'll get there eventually.
I believe you.
Well, that's it, and we'll see you next time.